In this video, we study the famous two generals problem. The problem is typically explained in a martial setting where two generals need to agree on whether to attack the enemy at a specific place and time. We will use a more friendly setting to explain the problem, namely, two friends who are both hungry and would like to go for dinner together. Let's call the two friends Bob and Alice. Both of them would like to go to their favorite restaurant for pizza. However, just like normal modern people, they absolutely do not want to eat alone in the restaurant, so they want to go together or not at all. They could settle this in a quick phone call, but, like normal modern people, they don't like to make phone calls and much prefer to send texts. So, Alice sends Bob a text, asking him to meet her at the restaurant at 6 p.m. The problem is that there is no guarantee that Bob will see or even receive the text. What if the text is not delivered? As mentioned before, the thought of eating alone is so terrible that Alice would not risk going to the restaurant without being certain that Bob is going as well. Clearly, relying on a single text message doesn't work. Alice and Bob could agree on the following scheme. She sends the first text, telling Bob when to meet. He has to reply with a text indicating that he accepts the invitation. Does this simple scheme work? Is it now guaranteed that either both go or neither of them goes to the restaurant? You can stop the video here to think about it. We will continue in a few seconds. Did you find out why it doesn't work? The problem is that Alice may not receive Bob's message. In this case, Alice cannot know that Bob received her message, so she will not go. Even if Bob received Alice's message, Bob doesn't know whether Alice will get his message, so he cannot decide to go to the restaurant without risking eating his pizza by himself. Since Bob needs to know if Alice got his message, they could try to add another message to their protocol. Alice must confirm that she received Bob's message. However, does this additional message really solve the problem? You can stop the video again here to think about what can go wrong now. We will again continue in a few seconds. Did you figure it out? The problem is very similar to the situation before. If Bob doesn't receive Alice's confirmation, Bob doesn't know whether Alice received his initial response, so Bob cannot decide to go. The situation is similar for Alice. Even if she received Bob's message, she cannot decide to go not knowing whether Bob has received her confirmation message. As we said before, Bob will not go if he doesn't receive this message. So, is there any solution to this problem? Can we somehow come up with a clever protocol that guarantees that both will make the same decision even if some messages may be lost? Let's assume that such a protocol exists. In fact, many such protocols may exist. If there are many, we simply consider one of the possibly many protocols that send the fewest messages. Let's see what happens when Alice and Bob use this protocol. They exchange messages as specified in the protocol. It is possible that the last message that is sent does not arrive, but that's okay because we said that the protocol works even if some messages do not arrive. So, Alice and Bob still both decide to go or not to go. However, if they reach a decision whether or not the last message arrives, there is actually no point in sending the last message. In other words, they can both decide to leave out the last message and it still works. But wait a minute. We have now just found a new protocol that sends fewer messages, but we said that Alice and Bob use the protocol that sends the fewest messages. This is a contradiction. If there is no shortest protocol, then our assumption that there is a correct protocol must be wrong. We can therefore conclude that no such protocol exists. In summary, we studied the two generals problem, which we called the two hungry friends problem. We found that, no matter how many messages are exchanged, either party can never be certain that the other party will reach the same decision. This result is a fundamental limitation in distributed systems. Thanks for watching.